Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today and happy Tuesday. So I'm Zandra, I'm the community manager for CharmVerse. And for those of you not familiar, CharmVerse is a Web3 community platform for managing members, coordinating tasks, facilitating decisions, and holding each other accountable. Members can sign in with crypto wallets and gain access via community tokens and NFTs. And it brings together onboarding, payment management, proposals, project trackers, and data repositories in one place. So thanks again for joining me. And I'm joined today by Greg Tomaselli, co-founder of Operations.Finance. Hey, Greg, how are you?
Hi, I'm great news.
Nice to talk to you again.
Yeah, it's been a while. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I think we spoke in some point in September, just talking about our projects and how we might be able to collaborate. So I'm excited to introduce you and Operations.Finance with our listeners. So I'm in Maine in the US. We're heading into winter, but I believe you're in Cape Town heading into summer.
Yes, it's the summer has definitely turned around the corner here for us. So we're really enjoying the sun. It was missing for a few months, so it's a very big welcome from our side.
Nice. So let's start by familiarizing the audience with Operations.Finance and what you're doing over there.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so we basically are a full stack crypto financial service provider. And at the moment, we have three fundamental service offerings, which delve into crypto accounting and CFO reporting as one, CFO advisory, and fundraising advisory.
Awesome. And this is a relatively new project, right? I believe you're coming up on a year in January?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a long time coming. I think that, the crypto space has been pretty exciting for a long time. I've been very passionate about it since 2015. More about the disrupting notion of not requiring a trusted third party. I think that's one of the biggest things for me. But in the beginning, it wasn't really serious, more dabbling on coins, investing in a bit of Bitcoin here and there and so on. But yeah, I think that, focusing on building up my working experience in the traditional space has been a blessing. And last year around this time, a co-founder of a DeFi protocol called Float Capital started enlightening me into the progress of crypto companies and the evolution of the technology, where the space is heading. I started to realize this is not something small anymore. And I started paying attention to the increase in regulation chatter. Given my background in finance and investing, I knew it was a matter of time before regulations would start to come into order, and institutional capital investment would start to enter the space, which would just exponentially increase the market size of what's happening in the industry. So, got really excited about this. I was working at a UK venture funder at the time called Boost & Co. And we would invest and lend to tech companies in the UK. I took this bold idea and pitched a crypto financial service provider to Lance Mazurovich, the owner of the company, and which is now also ventured into the US, by the way. Yeah, he agreed to the platform. He gave me this platform to start the business, and we co-founded Operations.Finance in January this year.
Nice. So, like I said, you're in Cape Town. You are collaborating with this UK business. So, so you're servicing the world, anywhere in the world, people can reach you and work with you?
Absolutely. We have clients in the US. We have clients in BVI, the Cayman Islands, the UK, Gibraltar, Portugal, South Africa. We pretty much service regions all over the world. Crypto is the beautiful part of crypto is that it's not geographically bound. I think that you have companies registered in various areas, but you've got founders and teams working all over the world. So it makes it very special from that point of view, and we do the same.
Absolutely. And you touched on it a bit about why crypto, but you definitely have a lot of enthusiasm in this industry. And obviously, we're really willing to go all in. So what are some of the benefits more benefits that you find working with crypto than traditional banking or, financial solutions?
I think, first of all, crypto is like it has the potential to be the great equalizer, right? So, the world has been chugging along a certain system for decades now. And I think that crypto is going to change all of that. The technology behind blockchain, which can lead into AI and deep learning and so on, I think that's going to shape the future. So I think, the problems that it solves, you think about, oppressive regimes in different countries where people are stuck, or where their currencies are trading at major discounts to the open market. Crypto kind of solves a lot of these problems and can help out people that are distressed. So I think from that perspective, and then just ease of doing business, I think it sort of removes barriers for people to start companies and transact and trade. I think this is the biggest thing that excites me in the industry.
Absolutely. I was just in Bogota for DevCon last month, and that's a lot of the talk around crypto, right? Is the great equalizer, and it's amazing. And not to mention, it is definitely, we're shaping the future with it, like you said as well. So jump on board, everybody. So
we're fully on board.
Yes, you are. Yes. So share with us some of your experiences in this industry, whether it's types of project you mentioned or managed, or your background in this space in general.
Look, I think, everyone says a month in crypto is like a year in the traditional space. It's pretty true. We're very lucky enough to have clients in pretty much every vertical. So, NFT marketplace, DeFi, Web3 gaming. I say gaming because it's a bit so complicated on its own. Infrastructure as well. So, the things that we've seen to date are quite special in terms of what guys are doing and revolutionizing the space. I would say that fundraising is probably one of the hardest things at the moment, given recent events. The light has been shone on investors and on founders as well. So I think that our traditional experience, myself and Lance's experience as investors, and M&A advisors, being founders, I think it's a very unique position we're in, that we're doing a full circle back to advising clients in the space. We have experience with really intense financial due diligences, scaling companies, raising funds, so on and so forth. And I think with what's happening now with FTX, and with the landscape where investors are going to increase their due diligence processes, I think this positions us really well to help our clientele, get their house in order, in essence, and solve that financial visibility conundrum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think pretty timely on when we're having this conversation, in the midst of all this FTX stuff. Obviously, a lot of talks about that. And so that I'm going to jump ahead to something I was going to bring up later. But, on that note, people, I think, especially right now, have security on the mind when they're talking about their money and crypto. So what kind of security are we looking at with Operations.Finance?
I mean, just to be clear, obviously, we're not a Certic or a Hellborn or anything like that. We don't provide those kind of security services. But in terms of dealing with client information and strategic planning and decision making, we definitely have a very robust approach to securing data and information. We use end-to-end encryption. We don't custody clients' funds. We advocate using decentralized mechanisms to move funds around, or blockchains and so on. I think that the advice that we provide our clients is to manage their treasury really well, in essence. So, we've seen a client, unfortunately, that lost almost $300,000 because they had been holding that amount in FTX just as it collapsed. So things like diversifying where you hold your treasury and the way you hold it, in not just one stable coin, but various different types of stable coins. Obviously, people need to use centralized exchanges for certain functionality, but also not to house your treasury in one bank account. In the US, for example, regulations change really quickly. So, we like to advise our clients in opening bank accounts in multiple jurisdictions, and then proving a backup plan for ramping money between fiat and crypto as well.
Yeah, I think it's just good for people to know, how their money's being dealt with and what kind of securities there are and how you handle that. So definitely an important note when people start getting into the the crypto scene?
Yeah, I think a simple thing as well. People like to send public addresses around. In the traditional space, what people typically do, you would send an email with your bank account details, and you would essentially phone that counterparty and confirm the bank account details with them over the phone. And I see this hasn't really been happening in crypto, and this is something that we're bringing to the table as well, because even with end-to-end encryption, I think it's pretty safe. Things like Telegram, unless it's a secret chat, it's not completely end-to-end. People are sending emails, for example, with public addresses that can be altered or changed. So we also suggest picking up the phone and phoning that counterparty and actually confirming that address and chain before sent. We've seen people send money over the wrong chain as well. So there's all kinds of things. Centralized exchanges are really petty when it comes to coins that they support as well. So some people would send centralized exchange USDT instead of USDC, for example, or vice versa, and then you can see the money sitting in that wallet, but they won't release it for various reasons. So it's simple things like that, just putting those procedures in place as well to ensure that doesn't happen.
Absolutely. And I think that's important to talk about. I think people that are just starting to onboard into Web3 and crypto, those first couple transactions or the first dozen transactions can be scary to make sure all of those numbers are right. That address is just right, because it's scary to start working in this. And I think, those securities that we have are going to make more and more people on board and become more mainstream. So always good to hear about a company like yours, that's just trying to help it be as safe as possible to do this.
Absolutely.
On that note, so you specialize in blockchain projects from startup, pre-seed, seed, and beyond. So How are you helping these organizations navigate these different phases of funding? And is it investments, scaling? What's the method there?
I think ultimately this is where our experience really comes in handy, having gone through every phase as a founder and also being an investor, right? So, the reality at the end of the day is that each phase brings different challenges, different levels of product market fit. Every investor as well brings a different perspective. They have a different way of managing their risk. So it's really good for us to understand So obviously the phase of the project is critical in how we position it to investors. So where your product market fit lies, what kind of financial data can we bring to the forefront and use for extrapolation purposes? How is it proven with your community, for example, any feedback loops? Typically, you would position an investment very differently to an angel investor than you would a Series A, right? So I think getting that element correct is vital to successfully fundraising. What I would say though is at the end of the day, I think the crypto wild west is kind of coming to an end now. I think the days of founders having a very basic business plan and a really good product and a great team with a lot of experience raising sort of seed and Series A levels, I think that is going to be more difficult in the future. I think that this brings an element of robust financial due diligence and commercial due diligence from these investors. I think this is where we can really add a lot of value in making sure that the modeling is super robust, making sure that the tokenomics don't have inherent sort of Ponzi-nomics inside of them, just to ensure that there's a really good procedure to follow up on investors and making sure all the information is ready to provide to them, having really clean data rooms. Things like that, in essence. But again, as the phases evolve from angel to Series A, this becomes more intense. So, in terms of an angel round, your product and your team is probably the most important. But as you hit like pre-seed, your monetization strategy becomes really, really critical to landing a solid investment. So this is where we really get involved from an early stage in helping founders build out that monetization strategy in future and how that can evolve.
I love it. And as far as payments, you accept payments via a number of protocols, right? And networks. So like Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, and a bunch more. But do you also accept USDC, tokens, fiat?
Absolutely. So, we wouldn't be a crypto native firm if we didn't accept crypto as payment. I think about 95% of our clients actually pay in crypto, uh, predominantly being USDC via Circle. Everyone loves a good Circle account since they're not charging gas fees on Ethereum mainnet. So USDC is probably our predominant currency at the moment, I would say. But we accept pretty much any liquid crypto at the moment. We have wallets on every chain, so we can do that. And we encourage it in terms of what makes it easier for our clients, right? So ramping money between chains and fiat becomes really expensive. We don't want to be part of that problem. So, in terms of payments, whatever is easiest for them. If people are dealing mostly on the Avalanche chain, for example, and they've got a lot of AVAX they want to get rid of and they want to pay us in that, that's fine as well. So yeah, it's pretty simple. I think in terms of fundraising, our business model is basically we have, depending on the scenario, we would have like daily rates for advisors. It's really not a lot. It's just to cover our expenses in terms, and then we would have a fundraise success fee, of course, and that's paid in tokens if it's a SAFT arrangement, or in equity if it's safe. So just depending on the scenario.
Yeah, just case by case, you can kind of make a call on how you go.
Exactly.
So you have a number of products and services to aid your partners, and these could range from accounting to administration, CFO services to project fundamentals. Can you dive into some of the more specific products you offer for listeners that are going to be reaching out after this?
Absolutely. So in terms of accounting and CFO reporting, I think the biggest challenge we have in the industry at the moment is financial visibility. It's quite ironic where you can follow a transaction on chain pretty easily, but putting that in a reporting, building that into sort of robust reporting for investors and for founders is quite challenging, especially when you're mixing fiat and crypto on multiple chains. So what we like to do, and what we've realized with our clientele, is that people don't really want to focus on finance. They want to build a world-class product. And we pretty much are your one-stop shop. So when it comes to payroll, administration, loading payments, we don't custody funds, but we do all the administration for our clientele. With the accounting side, we bring in all crypto transactions on any chain. We have an amazing tech stack that we've been developing in-house. And, we're using that along with some other partners in different circumstances. We merge that with fiat transactions, and then we use the accounting to build up these amazing CFO reports. So, and the CFO reporting side of things, cash burn is probably one of the most important facets to founders at the moment. Understanding their cash burn and where the cash is being spent, and providing KPIs and analysis on that. And then cash runway management. I think this has been the biggest impact on our clientele. Understanding, what different decisions and scenarios and that the impact of that will have on their cash runway. So we tend to do about 6 different scenarios where we do financial modeling on decisions on, let's say, hiring an additional 2 developers or running a $50,000 campaign in every second month, for example, and then how that would impact their cash runway from that side. And then obviously investor board reporting. I think that's quite critical as well. So on a quarterly basis, we provide these really nice board reports that also include non-financial data or KPIs like community growth and community engagement. And they can then send that on to their investors and have better meetings with better financial visibility.
All the things. So you're really just helping everyone to streamline their processes and maximize cash flow and so much more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we even go into, corporate structuring. We do things like internal controls in the business. So, a lot of these things in FTX have happened with expense claims and so on. We like to put these procedures in place so that doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Give people a little more peace of mind.
Exactly.
So I don't often get too many requests for questions on here, but I do have someone asking, would you be willing to field a question?
Of course.
All right, let's see. Nguyen, I'm going to give you the ability to speak for a minute. Are you there? You should be connecting. Connecting. So while we are waiting for them to connect, if this works, I'm curious what you would say are the benefits of partnering with Operations.Finance if you needed to, list off a couple things.
Yeah, I think, given that our mission is honestly to help push mainstream adoption in the space by enabling projects to grow faster and more robustly. With our experience in the traditional space and now obviously in crypto, we are the one-stop financial service provider for everyone. So whatever financial issue you have, if we really cannot solve it, we know someone who can. I think it's just having that confidence of having someone in your corner that can provide you the insights you need to effectively manage your business from a financial perspective and a strategic perspective. I mean, we've scaled businesses before as well many times. So, I would say that's definitely the point.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we lost that listener that was trying to speak. So maybe they'll come back and request again. So what would you say is your favorite thing currently about Operations.Finance, and then turn it around, and something you might change going forward, or something you've learned and would want to adjust?
Yeah, I think, just working with these founders have been the most amazing experience. These are some of the smartest people in the world. People that are developing the most incredible technology that's going to change and shape our future forever. So I think, learning from founders and understanding from their teams what they're busy building, and then also getting that feeling and feedback from them that we've really helped them to prosper and navigate some difficult times. So, just sort of getting that kind of feedback when they are coming back from an investor portfolio meeting, and they pumped because their investors have never seen, this kind of financial visibility before, and they're getting a pat on the back. They'll be giving us a pat on the back as well, and our team loves that. In terms of what we want to change moving forward, I think we probably should have put more presence on the ground in the United States from the very beginning. And working remotely is great, and obviously Lance is in the US, sitting in New York. But it probably would have yielded even quicker results. I mean, we haven't done too badly. We started with our first client in June, and we had 17 clients now, in the process of signing 3 up now. So we're doing pretty well. We got 6 full-time employees, 5 consultants, part-time consultants, and we've got another 5 full-time joining in January. But I think what we could have done in the beginning is just put some presence on the ground in the United States from the very beginning, which is what we're doing now. So if anyone knows of a great community manager and sales coordinator in the US, we are busy looking.
All right, people, you heard it here first. Well, actually, you posted it on LinkedIn. I saw it on there too. But if you're looking for a role as community manager in the US, there's a role open here. Yeah, I like what you're saying as far as learning from the founders you're working with. The space is so new that, there's just so much innovation always happening. And I think there's always something to learn from someone in this space, which is what's so exciting. And then as far as, it's not too late. You are getting more presence on the ground here in the US, and that's great. You might just need to make a trip here on your own to Maine, maybe. Let me know if you do. I'll show you around. We'll get you some lobster. No, so that's great. And I always like asking founders also, what they would change, because again, we're always learning. We're always trying to keep up with stuff and learning from mistakes we made. So I think it's important to note that too for the other future founders that are listening.
Awesome. No, thanks. I think, vice versa for when you come around to Cape Town, you have to experience the summer here. It's so great. But on the lobster point, I spent a few months in Boston back in the day when I was at Deloitte, and for some reason your lobsters, they are all intensely red, and down here it's like a light pink. I've never understood that.
I have no idea. I didn't know that, but I have no idea why. I might need to look into this. Warmer waters? I don't know. Interesting. Yeah. Cape Town sounding really lovely right now as we're dropping into the 20s here and having bits of snow on a regular basis. So
I think Maine is really beautiful in the fall anyway. So it's quite cool.
It is. I do love
all
it.
Your orange leaves.
Yes. Yeah. We had a great one this year. So what's next? Tell us what's next for you.
Yeah, I think we we're definitely going to be coming to the US a bit more. I think we're going to be going to Austin in April for Consensus. And I think, our team's going to be rapidly growing. So, we want to, gain more clients in every industry in the vertical, understand it better, to be able to provide a better service. And in terms of what's next, who knows? We might be partnering with some cool venture labs and incubators as well. We have partnered with VenusVerse in Canada, which is really cool. So yeah, we'll see. I think there's a lot on the horizon at the moment.
Always. There's always stuff happening, right? Ever changing, ever growing. All right. And tell my listeners how they can stay apprised of your journey and or find you if they want to employ your services.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter. You can find the company on Twitter as well. You can join our Discord community via our website, Operations.Finance. Or you can send me an email at Greg@Operations.Finance. We'll do the trick as well. I'm happy to meet with any of you or just have a chat. If you want to have a chat on LinkedIn as well, no problem. Happy to connect. Love meeting people.
Greg is super personable. Like I said, we met in September. We had a Zoom chat and so easy to chat with. Lovely emails following. Glad to be chatting again over this. You're a lovely guest. And everyone, you should definitely go check it out. Obviously, you can click on Greg's profile picture there. Follow him on Twitter. You can find him link from there to Operations.Finance on Twitter and Operations.Finance for the website. And again, they're specializing in crypto and blockchain projects and offering institutional quality on-chain finance solutions through best-in-class leaders, accountants, and state-of-the-art software. So definitely a project you want to get involved with. And please go check them out. And Greg, I'm really excited for your journey and to see you keep growing in the US. And I'm hoping that we can meet in one of our areas one day in real life.
No, thank you so much, Aaron, for having me. It's been awesome and very humbled by you having us on. Yeah. Also, just want to shout out to CharmVerse. We've been using you guys for a while now, and it's really cool. We really enjoy the way the software works and how we can keep track of all our information on there. It's really cool.
I love to hear that. Thank you. And please, if ever you come across any questions or anything, you can reach out directly to me. Happy to walk you through anything. But yeah, that's lovely to hear. And everyone else, go check out CharmVerse. Great platform for Web3 communities specifically, but has all sorts of capabilities. I also use it for my daily workflow. So definitely go check it out. Well, Greg, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. And let's stay in touch. And I look forward to following the journey.
Same here. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Have a great day.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.